Hello, dear friends. I need to come on and share again basically the same thing I shared in the last video, which was December of last year. What kind of energy do we have? Now, I have just experienced something in a situation in my own life which was the very opposite of what I shared in the last video, and I want to use myself as an example of what I think is happening at the moment. I encourage you to watch that last video. It's titled "What Kind of Energy Do We Have?" and it was an encouragement to have an energy inside of us, the same one that Holy Spirit gives us, that's talked about in Colossians, with the energy that works inside of us, in the flow of it being outwards and not inwards. And I went to the theatre with my daughter, sat in the front row of the theatre with her, and a woman walked in. Now it was a situation where there was no, you didn't have a seat number. As a woman came in with a wheelchair, and I thought, and she was looking at the front row, and there was no seats, and that was the only place they could go, basically. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to move. I always have to move. Lovely. And I saw her looking, and I just sat there, really stubborn, like, I'm not moving. I'm always moving. And I wanted Listina to have a front row. And eventually she said out loud with her voice, oh, something, and then we moved. And I went to move fully away, and the person next to me said, oh no, you don't need to move, you just need to move over. And I walked away from that situation feeling really bad, angry at myself, because not angry, just annoyed, like, I didn't want to move and I had to move, and then sad at the same time that I didn't move. And I was journaling the next day with Holy Spirit, and as I sat there, I felt like this not conviction, it's not the word, but sadness, and this gentle voice. You used your energy to serve yourself, but you could have used your energy like outward to serve somebody else. I'm like, yes, it's true, Holy Spirit. And I just said, yes, I didn't use my energy well. I served myself, but it didn't feel good. There was no glory in that. There was no honor in that. There was nothing. There was no benefit to me serving myself. And I feel like in our current climate, we have such a resistance against serving others, against letting our love flow outward, having compassion, having kindness, having sensitivity. This post-pandemic world that our generation lives in has become so inward, so self-focused. And I too have been at home with my daughter, like all my energy has been directed towards this other little person. And that is a part of it for me. And I'm gonna rise again. I'm gonna rise up out of this self-seeking like mindset, and walk in the energy of God that is breathed outwards. So I just wanted to be really vulnerable and say this moment in time is critical for how we want to set ourselves for the future. We just had the Hebrew New Year over 10 days ago, and we had the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, on the 25th of September. And as I was praying on that day, all I could feel was, I need to come into rest. Christ crucified before the foundation of the world. This is my work. What if the work we have, what if the energy we have is Christ crucified? That's the only work we're ever going to have. To eat it, to drink love, to eat love, to lie down, to go lower, to be spilt out. Just wanted to encourage us. I'm just going to pray. The only life we have, Jesus, is in you. You're the only life that we have. If I have you, I have life. If I don't have you, I don't have life. And I want to flow in the way that you flow. I want my energy to come from the cross. God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, so whoever believes in him would not die, but have everlasting life. Life is the energy that flows out of us. Love is the life that flows out of us. The way is the way of the cross. The truth is a person. Father, set the stage for us now and in the coming days, that we would be an emanation of love, that we would choose to walk in the opposite direction of self-preservation and fear, but we would choose to walk in humility and in giving and in rest, because the work has already been done. What is the work that's required of us? Your disciples asked, or the Pharisees asked actually, and he said, the work of God is this, to believe in the one he has sent. Believe means entrust and bind myself to, entangle myself with. I become one with Jesus. That's the only work we have. So help us have this foundation again, Jesus, of the work that is you, Christ crucified, and you alone. Amen.